Do you want to see 30 toys from the 80s that'll make you feel so nostalgic? You know you want to. Come on.
Number 1, we have Teddy Ruxpin. Okay, Teddy was a little creepy, but I mean, come on, he talked. Also, nothing was better than putting a cassette by Madonna in him, watching him sing the songs. Number 2, the Barbie from the Barbie and the Rockers line. Of course, Barbies in general were very popular throughout the 80s, but this Barbie's 80s pop star MTV look made her a must-have, especially since she was direct competitor to Gem and the Holograms line. Number 3, a Rubik's Cube. Every kid seemed to own one, whether they even asked for it or not. And honestly, they provided about 10 minutes of entertainment before you get frustrated with it and move on to another toy. And that other toy could be number 4, E.T. toys. Much like Rubik's Cube, you probably owned some kind of E.T. toy whether you asked for it or not. Number 5, Play School's Sesame Street Poppin' Pals. Sure, you probably stopped playing with this by the time you turned 5, but if you do remember this one, you know how fun it was to just watch them pop up over and over. Number 6, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Action figures are arguably the most epic toy line of the 1980s. Of course, in addition to the cool action figures, they also released some amazing playsets. Number 7, She-Ra, Princess of Power. He-Man's twin sister had a very cool toy line of her own, but best of all, they were scaled to the same size as the Masters of the Universe toy line, which meant you could play with them together. Number 8 is Speak and Spell. Sure, it was meant to be a thing of learning, but you definitely only played with this, so you could hear it talking like Stephen Hawking. Number 9 is McDonald's Berenstain Bears Happy Meal toys, which were amazing, but also got dirty very quickly because of the flocking they had on the skin. Number 10, we have McDonald's McNugget Buddies Happy Meal toys. Did they permanently smell like French fries? Yes. Were they so indestructible that you couldn't play with them everywhere from the bathtub to the park playground? Yes. And were they also the perfect size to stick in your pockets so you could take them anywhere? Also a big yes. Number 11, My Little Pony. First off, they were magical ponies with hair that you could comb for hours. Secondly, they smelled like a mix of sweetness and subtle plastic, which always was a low-key addictive. And number 12, we have Nintendo. If you're fortunate enough to get one of these as a kid, then you know you could spend hours playing on it. You also probably remember it being the cause of many a fight you had with your siblings. 13 is Strawberry Shortcake Dolls, which smelled like delicious fruits and you mainly just sniffed instead of playing with. And were also the cause of the TIE Fighter pilot smelling so nice. Number 14 is Rose Petal Place Dolls, which, like Strawberry Shortcake Dolls, smelled so heavenly that you sniffed them 60% of the time that you were playing with them. 15, Thundercats action figures. Like the He-Man line, the Thundercats line was epic, and also the tie-in cartoon that made you want to collect them badly. 16 is Simon, which is probably the one game your parents regretted buying you because of the loud noises it made. Number 17, Smurfs. These were also one of those toys that you probably don't even remember asking for, but somehow owned a dozen of them, and like the McNugget Buddies, they were perfectly sized so you could fit a few into your pocket and take them anywhere. 18 is California Racing figures. Like the Smurfs, these were one of those toys you probably didn't even remember asking for, but somehow owned at least a handful of them. 19, we have Care Bears. Those stuffed animals that were just super adorable. And each bear had such a defined identity that screamed, "This Care Bear is me." You also likely got one from your grandma because she picked it up a Hallmark while buying your birthday card. Number 20 is Fisher-Price Little People. This was one of those toy lines that you likely played with past this suggested age range. But how could you not? The Little People came with so many different playsets that playing with them was so much fun. The best playsets were FTR, the Tudor House, the Barn, and the Parking Garage. Number 21 is Gumby and Pokey, bendable figures. No, me neither. which just appeared in your toy box one day and you never knew why or how. 22 Rainbow Bright dolls were one of those toys that practically every kid in the 80s owned, and it's easy to see why. They had colourful iridescent outfits, yarn hair, and a plush-filled body that made them basically indestructible. Also, for some reason, these were one of those toys that always ended up with crayon marks all over their faces. 23's Popples. Aside from being extremely cute, there was something appealing about turning these guys into their ball shape. Number 24, Transformers are one of the most enduring toy lines of the 1980s. They were unlike any other toy at the time, and half the fun of them was just sitting there and transforming into robots and back into the cars, over and over and over. 25, Gem and the Hologram dolls. Like every good 80s toy line, these toys also had a popular cartoon tie-in that made you want to collect them all. Plus, the truth was that they were way cooler than Barbie. 26, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I just want to sing when I say that. Again, like every good 80s toy line, these toys had a very popular and cool cartoon tie-in that made you want to get them all. But really, in 1988, there wasn't a cooler toy line than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtle Mania was real. 27 is Monchitolis. Easy for me to say. Let's be honest, these were more creepy than cute. But the catchy jingle for the commercial made you want one of these badly. 28 is McDonald's Fraggle Rock Happy Meal toys. Every 80s kid owned at least one of these. And like McNugget Buddies, that's hard to say as well, they were indestructible and fit perfectly in your pocket, so you could take them anywhere. Penultimate one now, 29, Viewmaster. Listen, this might not have been the most exciting toy on the list, but the fun was collecting the different reels, which you usually only looked at once or twice before forgetting about them. And lastly, number 30, Cabbage Patch Kid dolls. No toy had a bigger craze in the 80s than the Cabbage Patch Kids, and chances are you probably owned one. Whether you were obsessed with them or not, just looking at them probably takes you right back to the 1980s.